All right, now we'll go to the cover two. We'll keep a couple guys back. Jeremy Mack back on the field this game. Yeah, he is. Good stuff. So it's Easterly and Mack in the backfield. Another option-y play. Oh, no. Oh, God. Okay. So watch this. 43 is playing 1 out there, and instead they hand it off to 24. And this guy takes a bad angle, and Mac takes a bad angle. The guy we just talked about. That's a bad angle, man. You can't do that. You can't do that. Everyone wants to talk about safeties playing the pass, but in the run, you're also the last guy. You're the last guy, and you're the last line of defense. There's Raheem Gladding is probably the guy we want here. Instead, we're going to scramble. We got to scramble. B-gap scrambles. All right. So one of the things that I like talking about a lot is people always talk about how we're in the age of the quarterback scramble, and we are. You'll hear this thing a lot about from smart football people about how the quarterback scramble is the most efficient play on a football field. And it is. But let's get one level down a little bit. Jesse, come on, man. I'm trying to teach. All right. So if you watch here, we run our play. And no one's really open, right? We don't really have anything we like. Everybody does a nice job covering everything up. But look at this. Look at all this green in front of us, right? So if you watch here, what happens, this is basically, it's not a B-gap scramble, it's a C-gap scramble, but it's an inside scramble. A lot of people, when they think about scrambles, they always think about quarterbacks escaping the pocket, Pat Mahomes doing something cool near the sideline. But if you ever watch I don't know anyone from Texas. If you ever watch the Eagles, the thing that Jalen Hurts kills people on all the time is these inside gap scrambles. So if you watch, look at the way this hole just kind of opens up. And I'm just going to take this, right? So you have to either make the choice of playing your zone. So like, for example, we're going to give this gentleman right here, we'll take it from his point of view. You have to make a choice between watching the quarterback and playing your zone, right? Because as this guy is coming across, 15 knows he's got to get depth to try to take away this throw. But if you take away this throw, here comes the scramble for 15 yards. Key thing, get down. We fumbled in our last game. Let's not do that again. That's what we're going to do. So first quarter, we gave up a couple of... The story of the game so far is the 2 big plays we gave up. But that being said, we have an opportunity to tie this up after the stop. So let's see what we can do. Okay. This is another RPO I like to call here. It's a fun one. It is basically a split zone flat RPO. So if I go to my instant replay, you're going to notice here that and the guy we're reading here is 92. So on 92, if 92 crashes down, we're going to basically shovel it out to 5. If 92 stays set and takes 5, stays where he is and takes 5 into the flat, we hand it off to 3. So let's watch what happens on this play. Boom, boom, boom. Now 5 just has this one player to beat, and he's going to turn it upfield, and he's going to get about 7 yards. It's a very easy way to do it. Again, on a team that hasn't really been able to run the ball effectively so far, it's nice to have a few of those options. Okay. Okay, there's a good one. Oh, baby. Let's go. M. Sawyer. See, this is your contested specialist getting some run after the catch yardage, which is always nice. That feels like a bonus. This is pretty simple. I wonder if we're going to go to the film room on this one. I don't remember if we do. But if we do, whether we do or we don't, this is Y cross. I think this is Y cross, if I remember correctly. But either way, the point is there's a speed out going to the flat there. And if you have man-to-man coverage there and a receiver you trust, you throw that 100% of the time because you're trusting him that he's going to be able to make the catch, turn it upfield, and get extra yardage there. So that's a huge play, 51 yards. And here's the film room coming in. So let's walk through it real quick. So we're going to have 2 guys on the left-hand side. It looks like it will be Ambansor in the slot. Yep, it'll be Ambansor in the slot. He's going to run a speed out, basically a 5-yard-ish out underneath the vertical route of the outside receiver. We have a 2 deep safety. It probably looks like cover 4 based upon what I'm looking at, which means that all 4 of the defensive backs in the umbrella would each take a fourth of the field vertically. And if that is the case, that means that that linebacker right there, or slot corner, I'm not sure who it is. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a whip route. Same concept, though. He runs this quick little whip route, which basically is make like you're running a slant and then cut hard to the outside. He gets the whip here. We got to lead this ball out in front of him because if you look, we're basically building in a blocker with the vertical route on top. I think it's an in, if I remember correctly. And if we get this throw out here, which we're about to do, boom, perfect throw from Colton Joseph. Now he's got the ability to run upfield. It's really, really nice. It's well done. It's good stuff. This is the kind of catch, and sure enough, it was cover 4. This is the kind of catch and carry stuff that, is really important to the air raid offense. So getting a big play like this is such a huge bonus, especially getting it out of a guy who you don't really get that kind of yardage out of in that particular way. Again, Albansor is more our contested catch guy down the field. There's a draw play. Bouncing off a couple guys. Bouncing off Jason Henderson, nonetheless, which seemingly is odd. So I think here we're probably talking about the draw play. So what is a draw play? A lot of times, if you listen to football games, announcers will call any inside run a draw play. And then the color guy will normally have to correct them and go, no, actually, that's inside zone or whatever it is. A draw play involves the offensive line pass blocking. You see how everyone is moving backwards in pass blocking? And then the fake of, hey, these guys are pass blocking leads the defensive line to break the rush lanes, and now all of a sudden you hand it off. It's basically trapping the defensive line into rushing the passer on a run play. That's what the draw play is. Running back is doing. So if you notice the first running back is in motion going out to the swing, the second running back 5 is going to basically go to block for him. I thought I called the play where he continues on the wheel route, meaning he would have taken his defender all the way down the field. But because he stopped to block, because I was supposed to swing it out to him, basically his defender just stops, right? And now all of a sudden he's right in the path of the guy that I'm throwing the ball to. So what I would say here is, this is what I would call an autopilot mistake. It's a mistake because I wasn't paying close enough attention to the play I called. Try not to have these as often as possible because you're going to lose games that way. Don't be like me. Know what play you called. Their 2 plays are practically similar except for that one alteration, so that's good stuff. Nice easy run. We'll probably run drive under here would be my guess. Yep. It is cover 2, so we probably won't have a chance at the vertical, but let's see what happens. Oh, we changed Butler to the vertical. I tried to get us. Nope, that's intercepted. That's no good. That's a pick 6 is what that is. Wow. So you guys haven't seen me throwing one of those yet. That was just a bad read on my part. That's what that is. That was a bad read on my part. All right, here we go. We're going to have the crossing route. This is trips cross. So 2 is going to run a quick little speed out. Boom, there you go. And he's going to take that guy that way. And now all we have to do is wait for the crosser here, 7, to clear the middle of the field because it looks like this is man-to-man coverage. Let's see. Because what it looks like to me is that you're going to get 25 on 2, if I remember correctly. Yep, 25 on 2. He's going to take that guy outside. You have the whole defender in the middle of the field. Maybe it's cover 3. Yeah, it's hard to tell what that extra safety is doing there. But here we are. Look at the defenders there. We have the cornerback playing trail right now behind him, but we're ahead of him. Then we have to just make sure that we're going to put this ball in a spot where the free safety can't come down and make a play. If the free safety comes down and makes a play on this, he's probably taking it back to the house. So we got to make sure that we put the ball in a spot, as I turn the camera, to make sure that we can make a play on this ball and he can't. So as a result, if you watch the way we throw it, we put a little bit of air under it and we put it out wide as we can. So this way the free safety has to run the maximum amount of distance. You had the vertical there moving the other cornerback off. Very, very nice. Good stuff. That is an explosive play, as the kids call it. An explosive play. Good arm slot from the OC as well. Really, really nice play by Colton Joseph. Good throw. Hey, man, we moved this thing down the field. Let's get in the end zone now. Let's get in the end zone. Let's make this a game. Oh, we got the play. We got the out. Good throw. Very nice catch. First down. Way to do the difficult stuff. All right, so the sail. One of the things about the sail route, the sail concept. So the sail concept is you're going to have 0 going on the vertical. You're going to have 2 coming inside on the little slant hook thing. And then if you notice, you're going to run a deep out over it with 7. That deep out, I think we mentioned this before. It might have been now, during the video I was talking about it. This is one of the hardest throws in football, this deep out, right? And I got to tell you that there is definitely times where we sail this throw. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to place it a little bit deeper to let the receiver run under it by holding up on the D-pad and towards the sideline. Allowing him to run under it, we got a nice catch, and that's a first down. We don't need to score here. We need a field goal. And if we need a field goal, we got to get it down into field goal range, which is probably going to be the 30-ish. We don't have Brandon Aubrey. Oh, my God, we got the return. See, I was talking about a nice return. We're basically there now. We're thinking about 0 seconds left on this clock and a 34-31 win. Let's watch this special teams play. I don't know if I've showed you guys special teams too much yet, but I think it's worth looking at here. This is really well blocked. There's a nice little crease for the returner to cut through. Watch this. You get this block right here, and I notice there's a guy in front, right? Boom, move a little bit that way, then this way, and look, I'm out the backside right there. Really nice return. Returners, run to daylight, right? They always say that famous phrase, run to daylight. So if you look here, look where the daylight is. You find your blocks, and have some patience. You know what I mean? That blocking needs to get set up. That return is made by the patience of the returner and the good blocking of the special teams unit.